Good evening and welcome back to the first official 2022 US House elections. You see, 270 to win has added this map which allows you to play with the different outcomes and do the House election simulator sort of. They have added this, and I also have the map from 538 here that shows all the new districts, and I'm going to use that today to make a prediction on where we are at this point. Now there are a few outstanding states like New York and Connecticut that will be very democratic, and there are also some like Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, and other southern states that are Republican leaning. So actually I think that out of what's remaining now, it's so much in the south, so the Republicans might actually have the advantage among them. But let's talk about these that have already come down. Now I want to start in Maine with Jared Golden. Now he has actually won re-election by a quite strong margin in a district that both Trump and Collins won in 2020. And it's a difficult one. He has surprised us before, so I actually think that he will do it again. And that Jared Golden, a very moderate Democrat who voted to impeach Trump on only one article the first time, and I think he will hold on. In New Jersey, they have really carved up the map into only 3 Republican districts. One is very Republican, that's Chris Smith, who is not exactly popular among the Trump base. But you can also expect this one, Tom Malinowski's seat, to flip to Thomas Keane, which makes sense. It probably will. And then you have Virginia. Let's take a look at Virginia, shall we? In Virginia, Abigail Spanberger and Elaine Luria had to fight out in who was going to get a good district and who would get a bad one. And Spanberger won, but her is not particularly safe either. If we look at Luria's district, it is 6R, so I think that is going to go red. But when it comes to Spanberger's district, it would definitely vote for Glenn Youngkin by a quite significant margin. So in 2022, I actually think it will go red as well. But then probably flip blue again in 2024. That's my estimate there. Okay, let's go to North Carolina. J.K. Butterfield, I think that district will remain Democratic. I mean, this map is still in litigation, so it's not completely sure that it is going to remain, but it is likely. And let's see, go on to Ohio. So there are 2 toss-up-like districts, but they are both leaning R. Steve Chabot has won re-election in the Cincinnati area, even though his district has been trending Democratic. But in 2022, both that and that of Anthony Gonzalez, who is retiring, is probably going to stay red. And then you have Marcy Kaptur, who is a incumbent. Well, long time she has been there, and her district has become very Republican drawn, so I think it will flip. Even though she's been there since '83, she is one of the longest serving members of the House. And then we have, okay, no decision in Florida. In Georgia, I think we'll see pretty much what is going to happen. Of course, it is 1. Okay, so it's D+4 in not a part of the state that is trending very Democratic, but I think leaning Democratic is probably the way to go here. Michigan is a very exciting example because there are so many competitive districts. Now the 10th district is probably not that competitive. We are probably going to see it go to a Republican, and since no incumbent Democrat is running, I think it's going to be likely. On the 3 remaining, well, Republican incumbent in a blue-leaning district or tilting, and then 2 Democratic incumbents in slightly Republican districts. I want to say that Republicans win 2 out of 3. 3 out of 3 is maybe a bit optimistic, but something like this, I believe. It's really hard to tell. I don't know the mood of these Michigan voters, but we will see. They will also have a governor's elections, of course, with no Senate race. Over in Illinois, the Democrats have drawn the map, and there are 3 very, very Republican districts, and the rest of the state is gerrymandered to favor Democrats. Let's take a look. at the districts, the one currently held by Cherry Bustos, is being made more democratic, but you know what? I think that it actually has a chance at flipping, and same with at least one of these districts. I mean, we don't know how strong the democratic strength in the suburbs will be when Trump is not on the ballot. So I think that we are actually going to give the Republicans in 2022 that and that. And does that mean that the Democrats have done a dummy matter of a sort? I would say probably not, because if they flip, it'll probably change back again in 2024. Iowa, I think that the last district will flip to the Republicans, looking at how the Democrats are conducting themselves at a national level right now. After all, I believe it wasn't even leaning Democratic. Let's see. Okay, so it's R+2, and Cindy Axne is the incumbent. So the most Democratic district in the state, but still, Chuck Grassley is going to have some coattails, and it will not be a pretty sight for the Democrats. Okay, let's go to Texas, the big enchilada. Where is Texas? Here it is. Okay, so Republicans, this district, this Rio Grande Valley district, is actually looking like it's already going to flip. And I'm surprised by that. But then I won't actually change anything, because they've done everything to protect incumbents everywhere in Texas. And then you have New Mexico. Let's see now. Incumbents, Republican, incumbent Democrats. They're really letting incumbency decide a lot. Okay, so it's D+4. I actually think that she's narrowly going to edge it out in 22. But another one that might lose in 24 again. Gonna be hard. Okay, and then Colorado. So the Colorado map is really exciting. I mean, the Democrats did not like the formation of this district, but is it really so Republican? Okay, so it's R+3. I think that it can mean a flip in 22, but not in the election after that again. Arizona, I would say likely, while David Schweiker's district is going to be more and more Democratic because of the Phoenix area. And moving on, we are going into Nevada. Now, Nevada is definitely a sketchy map. Democrats want to hold 3 out of the 4 districts in Nevada, but D+5, D+4, D+2 is really unsafe, especially in a red wave year. I think that Susie Lee's district might flip, and we will see with the others. I mean, I'm not sure how strong coattails Laxalt and Heller will have as the Senate and the governor candidates, but I think at least one will flip, maybe 2, maybe all 3, which is crazy to think about. And I think we have pretty much entered everything except from California. Yes, Oregon, Alex Carlatos should have a chance, but then they gerrymandered the heck out of the map in Oregon, and now he is pretty much left out. So it's only California remaining. And we already know that Devin Nunes has resigned. Devin Nunes has left the Senate in order to pursue a career in social media. And then we are left with this map. Okay, so mostly Southern California. Valadao and Garcia both have districts that are fairly democratic, so D10 and D+8. The old map was, okay, so D+5 and D+9, so both are getting more democratic. Meanwhile, Josh Harder has a district that is slightly less democratic again. But without any incumbent to challenge him, I think that he will win. I also think that Valadao in a R+, in a Republican wave year, he will win. And then Garcia won by the sliver of his teeth, but that was a presidential election year. If it is a Republican wave year, unpopular Democratic incumbent, I think that he can edge it out, but nothing is certain. This is a very unsure thing. But okay, the last ones are of course in the old conservative bastion of Orange County. And I really find this strange. So Young Kim has been given a very Republican-leaning district, while Michelle Steele has pretty much gained a Democratic-leaning district that is very far from her previous one. I mean, she had the Huntington Beach, the beach line in Orange County, that was her territory, and now she has the one that's closest to LA Center. Meanwhile, Katie Porter has gotten a quite Democratic-leaning district here. And I think that this is a good way to leave it, even though Michelle Steele, I don't know, okay, I think that she would lose because this is not her constituents. She has been given a completely different constituents, and to be honest, I think that if I were her, I would rather run in this district, even though it's against Katie Porter. So that's it. Okay, so we only have 147 to 136. The rest is undecided. Pennsylvania, we have seen a map that will probably see the Republicans take down 2 Democratic incumbents, if not more. In Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky and Mississippi, it has been pretty much a status quo map. Same in South Carolina, same probably in Wisconsin. It will be exciting to see. So it is still too early to know exactly how it will turn out, but Republicans have much less of an advantage now than they did during the previous 10 years. It is going to be harder for them to hold on to the House in presidential election years. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.